Hello everyone and welcome to a noob's journey through Norrath. I'm going to play through EverQuest and I have no idea how long this journey is going to last. I don't know where I'm going to end up, but hey, you guys are invited. And I'm pretty excited about it. I've got a level 51 druid, so I know a little bit of what's going on. I haven't played in about a year. I just wanted to hop on when everything went free to play to see what was going on. Right now I'm in the Fariona V server, because I thought I was being smart when I created a trial account a week before it went free to play to see if I could get a couple of characters grandfathered in. It worked, but, and then they came out with a new server on me, and that's where everybody is pretty much. So I made this Necromancer Dark Elf, and she's got this kick-ass robe. I think everything she's holding is pretty much from the 13th anniversary quest, if I'm not mistaken. I know that voodoo doll thing is. I'm not even sure what any of it does, really, because like I said, I haven't played in about a year. But yeah, here I am, and I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping to bring in some new subscribers and some interest in the channel from the original EverQuest crowd, because, as you all know, I started off this channel from EverQuest Online Adventures for PlayStation 2. And I'm just going to go a little bit into that for some of the people that might not know what that is. There's an astonishing number of players who do not know what that is in the world of EverQuest, which is just sad. It just goes to show that it really didn't pick up, you know what I mean? But anyway, EverQuest Online Adventures came out in 2003. It was basically a prequel to EverQuest 1. It was set 500 years before the events that happened in Norrath in EverQuest 1. The thing that made the game unique is that it was basically the first MMO to be completely wide open, where you don't have to load anything. As soon as you loaded up the game and got in, it kind of had like that Grand Theft Auto feeling, like you don't ever have to load, you just go. You know what I mean? You could go from Hollis all the way down to Grob without loading once. Any dungeons along the way, say you wanted to go to Blackborough or anything like that, any dungeon, no loading. The only time you had to load is if you went to like Plane of Sky. We didn't have the Planes of Power thing like you guys do. Like, you got a bunch of different planes. We only had Plane of Sky, Plane of Disease, and I'm not sure if they came out with more after that. I quit playing around 2007, and the game was just shut down last March. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. Same characters, same, same races, same classes, same towns, all that stuff. I believe this is Norrath. Norrath looked a lot different for us. I'm just going to go ahead and piss some people off, but that's okay. I really think that EQOA nailed the way the towns looked and the way everything was just much more grand. Like, Norrath on EQOA was this huge castle, and it stuck way up. You could see it out in the distance from pretty far away. You knew you were coming up on it when you seen it. It was just this big kick-ass, like, spire-looking thing, and just evil, foreboding castle. And when you ran into it, it didn't load or anything. You just ran in. You would just run in straight into Norrath, no loading, which just, I guess I got spoiled because I kind of expected all MMOs to be like that. And, there's only like a handful that are like that. There's virtually nothing that's like EQOA at all. I mean, you don't have that anymore. Even the community that I talked to here said that their community isn't as good as it used to be. A lot of people don't play anymore. And the game has changed a lot. I really like what they did with Norrath in this one, though. I like the whole glowing sign stuff. We didn't have any of this, really. I think we did, but not quite as elaborate. It was much bigger though. Norrath was absolutely massive in EverQuest Online Adventures, and it looks like it's pretty big here too. Because I first started as a necromancer. It was my first class, my first character. And she was a dark elf. I wanted to make a female caster. I usually make my casters female. And man, I had a hell of a time just getting outside to the coach. We had these things called coachmen, and they would send you from town to town, and that was basically the only time you loaded, is if you wanted to quick travel, fast travel somewhere. But before you could do that, you had to actually go there. You know what I mean? You had to actually run out. Like, say you wanted to go to Kinos, you had to actually have been to Kinos, so you had to actually run there. Like, if you started in Surefall Glade, you'd have to run. Basically, you had to get coaches for every town. And it was really tough, you know. Some of the first guys on the server, I remember the first day, trying just to get from Norrath to Freeport, which is a relatively short distance. You would hit the coastline, and there were no maps. We didn't have any maps. I'm sure you guys didn't have maps either. All this shit came later, from what I'm told. We didn't have any maps. You just had to kind of go by eye, you know, take a left at this tree. There's this particular rock where you're going to want to head right. Stick to the coastline and don't run into the reds. You know, I got my ass handed to me 1,000 times just trying to get to Freeport. It was amazing. It was epic, wide open. I never experienced anything like it. And I'm sad to say that. I don't think I'm ever going to again. And all the guys that are with me right now that are watching this and they're EQOA fans, they're like, absolutely, dude. There's never going to be anything like it. It was phenomenal. Another one of the things I want to say about it, this little rat, is that the community was just really tight, and I know that's the case here too. But in our game, when it was new, when it still came out, everybody started in their own starting towns. You don't really do that anymore. You can, but at like level 5, I think you can teleport back to your starting town, but by then it's like, why bother? Because you start into this place. Well, I'm going to show everybody in a little while. You start in this place that's like a general area where they dump everybody. It's like an instanced area. Glooming Deep Mines, it's called. And you just go through and get some really awesome gear. As a matter of fact, the first day it went free to play, I was hearing a lot of the veterans bitching. They're like, whoa, this gear is way too nice, what the fuck? And I was asking people, when do I get out of this shit? I'm tired of wearing this crap. I want to get some different gear. Like, dude, you're not going to get out of that for a long time. It's the best gear you can wear up to like level 20. So they watered a lot of it down. But if it was like our game was back in the day, it was hardcore. You know, when you died, you didn't have to go back for your body or nothing, but you got debt. And man, you could be in debt for like hours. It got serious. It took forever to grind. I mean, I remember sitting in camps with people. The longest grind I ever did, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but I was young, was 37 hours I did. I was trying to get to level, I think I was coming up on 60, and I just wanted it so bad, you know what I mean, and I didn't sleep. I just stayed out there kicking ass. It might have been before Frontiers where I was trying to get to 50, grinding on kobolds. But yeah, it was just like that. And the thing is the combat was slow, not like these games that you have today, like WoW, where everybody's in a big fucking hurry. Nobody talks. Everybody just wants to get the best gear and go, 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 go kind of attitude. You just kind of sat back, and you had a lot of time to talk and get to know people. And because of that, our community was really tight. And when I first started playing it, I didn't have a computer, so I had to rely on, you know, my fellow adventurers to give me information on how to complete quests and do things. And there's, you know, it was a pain in the ass. You know, there was a lot of things that were tough about it, but it just felt more rewarding, and you know, you cared about your reputation. You know, you didn't want to make an ass out of yourself because you wanted to get into those groups, you wanted to get into those raids, and you wanted to be known as a cool person. You just wanted, it was like you were leveling up your social skills at the same time. And I love that shit, and you just don't have it anymore. So that's why I'm here. I'm trying to get that feeling back, hopefully. When I played, when the game first went free, I have to say it was a lot like that. People were being really cool. I got into a lot of groups. We didn't do a whole hell of a lot of talking, though. Not like I remember back in the day. I'm just kind of checking things out. But the community has been very helpful. Everybody's answering my questions. And yeah, it seems like it's built on the same stuff, you know, just a bunch of really cool people. I don't even know how to get around in here. So yeah, that's why I called it a noob's journey, because I really don't know much. And that's awesome for me. Wow, I just had a little bit of nostalgia coming around this corner here. It reminded me of an area in Norrath. It was, yeah, it looked just like this, except I think the buildings were over here. They were bigger. And then there was, I remember there was a bar and everything like that. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm thinking of how my game looked. I haven't played since, like 2010. I logged in on my wife's account just to look around and was extremely disappointed by the lack of players in Freeport. It really sucked to see that. It sucks to see your game dying, but yeah, I'm getting off track. We had all these different households, like House Daenerys and House whatever dark elf names, and they were always like, all the quests inside, they were always like looking how they're gonna kill each other and real nefarious shit like that. So there was storyline there. I mean, you didn't watch a story, but you know, if you read the quests and paid attention, you got an idea of what's going on. I remember my wife and I, when we first met, we were just starting to talk. There was a tavern like this with a bunch of rats in it. And man, we stayed down there for hours just killing rats. Picking up crappy loot and running upstairs and selling it. That's one of the things that made EverQuest so special, is that it was just about chilling, you know? It was just about having a good time, exploring the world, you know? Trying not to die, because when you do it really sucks, and it made it feel more adventurous, more perilous, and you know, now there's really no repercussions to dying. It's like, yeah, I died, I'm just gonna run back, or you know, some games you just res right there. If you go into the cash shop, you're just like, yeah, here, buy this, and you just fucking res right where you are, full health, no repercussions. And that's a bummer for me. I don't like that shit, man. I don't. I'm an old school dude, and I'm hoping someday somebody's gonna step up, if it's not Sony, with EQ Next, and say, hey, there's a good amount of older gamers out there. There's a lot of money to be had if we just kind of spin a new type of EverQuest game. If I was a developer, I'd definitely be thinking we need to appeal to the hardcore old school MMO crowd, because there's money there. I guarantee it. But, you know, I'm hoping that Sony goes back to their roots. I guess they said that they're supposed to, but hey, you never know. But I'm gonna hop on another character and run around a little bit. I just wanna mess around this first kind of like Let's Play. I guess there's gonna be like Let's Plays, right? I really like the way they made the trolls look. I know they look different. I've seen the older models too, and I like those a lot too. I know a lot of people prefer the older models. And trust me, we preferred our older models and all our older robes and everything too after our expansion came out. That's just the way it is, you know. MMO gamers are really fickle about the way things are. If you change too much, we get pissed. So yeah, for me, he looks really cool. To others, I'm sure they'd rather see the original shit. He looks pretty similar to what ours looked like. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on another character. And we're back. We're in front of Keynos, and I just got the chance to see Fippy for the first time. It's kind of weird when you hear stories about stuff like people who used to play EverQuest 1 and they just hopped on EQOA back in like 2003. I heard stories about this knoll that just kept running up and dying. The ever hopeful Fippy, so I just got the chance to see him. That's pretty cool. Stuff like that is really neat. You know, it's part of my history that I never got to explore. So it's just really cool for me. It's really exciting. And I wanted to put up a quick little clip to show you guys what Keynotes looked like in EQOA, because I keep saying that things looked a little bit better. So let me show you what I was talking about. So this is just out in front of Keynotes right here, where we're standing in EverQuest 1. You can see everything's just much bigger. This is Bobsfan1's channel. I have to get permission from people to use their videos because I don't have any EQOA videos. I didn't really shoot any. I have a few things, but nothing really elaborate. I want to kind of give comparison to each of the major towns if I can. This was shot, I think he shot this in 2010. And you can see there's just nobody here. The game was dying, and it's really sad, you know. It sucks to see that happen. But you can see that things are just a little bit more, I don't know, they look a lot better. The towns in EQ1, I mean, they made those in 1999, so the graphics came a long way in 4 years. And they were able to do more. And it was pretty big too. We had all these different subsections, you know, all these little areas, like the slums over here. I always thought that was cool. I don't know why. I always liked the little slums area over here. So yeah, that's Keynotes from EQOA. So yeah, there's a big difference. You know, a lot of people that come from EverQuest 1 are going to be like, what are you talking about? Our towns are 10 times better. Because, you know, that's just the way it is. I'm sure I'm being biased. I just really do think it was better. I'm just kind of exploring, you know. I don't really know the layout. I love this classic music though. I remember in EQOA, the monk guild masters and all that, the people that taught you your spells, they had their own temple just outside of Keynotes. It was down a path a little ways. It was kind of like a dojo looking place. And it was really cool. I remember Keynotes Prison. I'm not sure if they have Keynotes Prison here. They have to. It looks like right here it says prison. I'm not sure though. But our Keynotes prison was completely separate. You had to go down the road a ways, and it was like this big, just like a big kind of like a building with no roof, with all these little huts and stuff inside of it. And man, that place was packed all the time when the game was new. Trains were going on like 24/7. It was good times. And Home Sweet Home. I love Surefall Glade. I'm not going to put up the comparison video just yet, though. I'm actually going to be playing with my wife in a couple of hours when she gets home. So yeah, most of this Let's Play, it's gonna be the two of us going through. So it should be kind of unique, you know. I don't think there's any videos out there where spouses play EverQuest together. I could be mistaken, but you know, we're gonna go through the motions and see how much we get owned, which I'm sure is gonna be a lot. We got a lot to learn. She's never played EverQuest 1 at all. She's just coming from EQOA. And obviously she's upset that it's gone. So I'm trying to get her into something again. She tried WoW for a little while, didn't really like it. You know, it is what it is. WoW's it's like it's kind of like fast food, you know. It's the fast food of MMOs. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope I see you in the next video.